Have you ever watched a TikTok and seen something outlandish? Have you gone to the comment section and seen people very angry? Then look no further, because that post is most definitely rage bait. Believe it or not, this is still an issue on, TikTok and YouTube. It's not really an issue on, Twitch or anything, because you can't really clickbait or anything or rage bait unless your title is something that infuriating. But the common signs of this on a TikTok is someone giving a very harsh opinion on something, a lot of it is just getting someone to talk about something. So if you say something controversial, if you say something that has a yes or no to it, or it has two sides to it, you're probably going to get a lot of comments on your TikTok. I have my own personal experience that I would like to share with you guys, but first, the only reason that this was kind of brought to my attention again and something that kind of put it into the words that I was looking for a very long time, a couple days ago as of recording this, FunkyFrogBait, they came out with a video and also a TikTok that I had seen that brought it to my attention that this issue still exists and that it put it in the words that I was looking for. I know I already said that, but just to explain it. I will have that video that they made that, let me tell you, really good, watch the whole thing, in the description of this video, so go watch that after. And if you find that I might say something a little bit similar, I'm not trying to copy or anything like that. It's just something where, it might be a little subconscious of me saying something similar because it's on the same topic. Now, one of the main issues when it comes to rage bait is that people are doing this typically because that's it's like the only way to get followers, likes, comments, saves, just interaction. Interaction is very important across most platforms, especially TikTok and YouTube, and even things like Instagram. And the reason that people do rage bait is because there's no other way to compete. Everyone already does it. You're not going to be shown if you don't do it most times. It does also exist on places like X or Twitter, and it just makes a lot of these platforms very hostile, and that is the main reason why a lot of people feel drained after having used those apps. For TikToks, the first 3 seconds needs to be very inclining to watch, or it's a hook. You're trying to get people to watch your channel or whatever and watch the entire video, which then puts it out to more people. The issue for some is that sometimes that hook isn't good enough, or the things that they're talking about isn't good enough, so then they stoop to a new low of talking about these things things that just get someone angry, someone sad, gets them to comment or something. A lot of the time you will see that there are large comment threads, and you'll notice that there are the same few people commenting to other commenters, and it just keeps going from there. It's kind of similar to like a Hydra. One person comments and, similar to the head being cut off, 2 more comments are back in its place because they respond to each other and certain things like that. It's very obnoxious. Now, my experience, it wasn't anything remotely intentional, but once I figured it out, it is exactly on the mark, because some people get very upset. I posted a TikTok about Overwatch 2 and how a specific game mode known as quick play should be something that is more casual, because that is what it used to be back in the first version of the game. And don't get me wrong, you can absolutely try to be good at this game and try to sweat and all that stuff, but my take and my stance that I will show the TikTok for was that if you leave games, you should not be punished. There is a leavers penalty now in the game that requires you to basically, if you leave I think 5 out of 20 games in the certain span of time, you will get banned for 30 minutes, 2 hours, certain things like that. And I said that it's stupid because it's a casual mode. I should be allowed to leave. They've also done a few things in that game where when you pause your game, you press leave, you have to wait for 5 seconds, even though that doesn't make sense. There's a bunch of issues with Overwatch. I don't want to get into it because that community is toxic as shit, and TikTok, especially with that game, is the fucking worst. So yeah, here's the TikTok. I'll show you the TikTok. Leaving in quick play should be allowed. I don't give a shit if that affects your game. Ranked is a serious game mode, okay? The fact that quick play now is named to unranked is a joke. It does not make sense why it should be taken so seriously. It's just quick play. I can leave, get in another lobby eventually, or something along those lines. On top of that, when I join a new game and it's already been going and the game is about to end, I should be allowed to leave. You can actually receive a penalty because of that. But understand this. I believe it's an hour max that you can actually receive of a penalty. If I leave and you give me a penalty, I'm getting off. I'm not going to sit there and play because your game is not worth it. Get rid of leaving penalties. It does not do anything. It makes sense for competitive. It does not feel justified for quick play. If you're an Overwatch player and you watch that, you know, you're probably like, okay, that is rage bait. Wasn't intentional. I didn't absolutely mean to do that. It was just something where I was just like speaking my mind. But there is an outlier here. There are people who do this on purpose, and then there are people like myself who just want to talk about something that's an opinion. These people on the other side have this problem of trying to get people to interact a lot. They get millions and millions of views. I will use some stuff from FunkyFrog's video and kind of show that's how many views that you get a lot of the time after having done this so much. You get a lot of followers, all that shit. It's very obnoxious. I do not understand it. I mean, I understand it, but I don't like it. It's stupid. It's brain rot. Now, you don't particularly see it on like YouTube and stuff like that. I mostly have seen it on TikTok because TikTok is such a terrible place, and I wouldn't doubt that it's on Twitter. Instagram, don't really see it. I would say that a lot of the time it's fan accounts posting something like that are opinionated. And the main problem usually is that it is an opinion first, then it turns into something later. It's really dumb. I hate it. I absolutely despise it. I really wish that this type of thing didn't exist on platforms, because all it is it's the algorithm. That's all it is. Basically, every single algorithm now is designed in a way to try to keep people on the platform. If the first couple people that it's shown to, a small sample, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, if those people watch it as soon as they see it and they watch the whole thing, they comment, they like it, they save it and send it to a friend, that video will be shared to more people than if the person, you know, just liked the video and moved on. Or they didn't even watch it to begin with, they just saw it. And now I can kind of understand why these algorithms are like this now, and it's mostly just because, you know, like for a place like YouTube, they have ads to run. Why are they trying to give ads to people who don't stick around, and, you know, stuff like that? It logically makes sense, but people abuse that sort of system, and I can kind of understand why, but things can't be flagged or reported for rage bait, and that is a problem. That would be something that could fix it, potentially, make it so that the video gets taken down or the video is shown to less people. They have the ability to do that. You can, like on places like TikTok, pay for views and pay for followers and pay for interactions and taps and swipes and all that, whatever the fuck. It's stupid. Rage bait is something that shouldn't exist, and the only reason it exists is because a lot of people feel the need to give their opinion and feel like they need to care way more than they should. And the main way to avoid this is by being conscious when you watch TikToks and certain things like this. I would say a lot of the time, for me at least, when I watch TikToks before this point, it would be something where I'm mindlessly scrolling, but now you're doing a little bit of, it's a conscious effort. It's kind of conscious. I try not to comment on people's stuff unless I really see that they put a lot of effort into it. But then you have, you know, channels, TikToks that repost people, and that's fine, but it's like, dude, my TikTok section, For You page, whatever, is filled with garbage sometimes. And a lot of the time, I don't even use the app. Like, I'll see it, swipe, like something, send something to a friend. Then I'll just close my phone and go back to doing, like, work stuff and whatever. But it needs to be studied. And I mean, I know that it's just, like I said, it's because people feel the need to care. And that just, if that feature in people's brains can be turned off, the world will be a little bit of a better place. So, yeah, I don't like rage bait. I feel like people should stop doing it, because then it would make platforms much better. It would make it a lot healthier to be on certain platforms, because it wouldn't just be opinions. Instead, it would be cool shit. I like seeing cool shit. Yeah, this isn't a super long video or anything like that. I'm not trying to waste your guys' time or keep you here longer than you should be. It's just something interesting to talk about. And I do have to say, obviously, most of you here are not like currently subscribed or anything like that, I wouldn't doubt. But for all the views and likes and, you know, subs and everything that I got yesterday for Skate 3 and that video, Skate 4, Skate 3, Skate period, all that, I really appreciate it. It was very nice to see that, because it was something that it was just interesting to talk about. I hope that this video kind of does the same slightly. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's whatever. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day, great week, great month, great whole rest of the year. It doesn't really matter when it is, though. I hope it's great for you guys. See ya.